so that you know on a festival day. It's a big festival going on right now. I really thank you all. You have taken time out for this first workshop of Clickable 2013. Most of you must be aware of the contest, which I will be covering in the later part. But today, I'll just like to brief you. Do you know all about Rotary Club now? What is Rotary Club? So what does Rotary Club do? Anyone? What does Rotary Club do? Any idea Rotary Club? They are good or bad? What is photography related to? How is photography related to Rotary Club? What do you think? Why are we doing it?
To create some awareness.
Regarding photography. Number one. Number two.
Showing a true reflection of the society.
Any other ideas? Why? What is a social organization doing with photography?
Since Rotary Club is concerned with the social welfare,
Yes,
without photography you cannot display, and you can speak better with the photography. You're showing what you're doing and what you want to do and what is being done through your photography.
correct.
The social welfare schemes which you're doing it, all those things can be displayed better with the video and photography.
But I'm charging money 100 rupees per form. Why should I charge money?
Pardon?
I'm charging money per form.
Yes.
When you enter into the contest, I'm charging 100 rupees.
Yes.
I'm doing some business. Why I'm doing it?
Due to the winner.
Correct. Next. Any other idea why we are doing it?
Anything free doesn't have any value.
I just put it in a, why we are associated as a club, a passion for photography and Pondicherry. There are three elements in the entire thing. Photography, Pondicherry, Rotary, PPR, PRP, whatever you want to say. Now this particular relationship to photography has been almost 2 years old now. We are in association with Pondicherry Tourism Department, which provides us all, they provide us all support in terms of promoting Pondicherry as photo tourism destination. Remember, photo tourism destination. So what we are trying to do here is that every art has certain hubs. Calcutta will be known for something. Gujarat, there will be some art going on. And like photography also, there are hubs in the country. Delhi, Bombay. It will not be in UP. It will not be in Bihar. It will be in Kerala. It will be in some parts of Bangalore. So every art has its own places in the entire country. Now Pondicherry as a tourism destination for photography, that's what we are trying to promote with the help of tourism department. This is the first objective. Second objective, why do we charge? We cannot live without social work. So all money which comes, it goes somewhere else. So this money, what we are collecting as a form, it is going for a very noble cause. We are donating 4 dialysis machines to Jipnet. So this year we have been very aggressive because we have committed 4 dialysis machines to be installed at Jipnet. That is the reason we are trying our all best so that we are able to then raise that kind of money immediately quickly. There is a dire need of dialysis machine in Jipnet, and we are working very closely. So that is the whole objective. So once you start your workshop or once you submit that 100 rupees, please remember it is going for a very normal cause. Right? So that is all from my side. I'll hand it over to my friend Anthony now, who will give the introduction of our speakers here. You must have seen it already. So I leave it up here. One more thing, for learning workshop, how does it start? I am also a kacha photographer, not a very good photographer. I only shoot by my mobile. It is very easy to do a professional photography workshop in Pondicherry. You very well know. A lot of good photographers in Pondicherry. But I can understand a dilemma of a person like me who doesn't know anything about it, but where to start. The whole idea of having this workshop was for people like me. So you are not alone, I am also with you and you are also with me. So I will be learning with you here only. I doesn't know anything about photography. So that particular idea only came when I started with it. I felt that where to go? Where do I start? Where are the experts? Either they are too high people, you cannot reach them. And where do I start? So this the whole idea of this workshop, only for beginners or learners, you can say, was created from there. So I'm your friend here. I will be a student here with you. I'll just hand over to Anthony now, who will introduce you to the eminent speaker here right now. And all the best for today.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you very much. I'm Anthony. I'm also a part of the Rotary Club. Okay, in fact, what little I know about photography is because of Rotary Club. Okay, 2 years back we started this picture, and at that time I was, just having a point and shoot camera. I didn't know much, but I was supposed to learn because of Rotary. But not, I have no regrets now. I'm really happy with that. And I've also made a lot of friends. And I was talking to one of the participants, and I'm saying that this platform. Okay, so apart from the building, the photography itself, it helps to build bridges. Okay, now Dr. Mohan Singh is here. So it's because of photography that I know. There are so many other faces here. Dr. Prashant is here. I know him because of photography. So it's a wonderful forum where you can build bridges. I'm seeing this as something beyond photography. Okay, so build a one-to-one relationship which will be long-lasting, and of course in the process we also learn. Okay, we have of course very eminent judges. I'm not going to take much of your time. We have Mr. Besi Dubai. He's a very eminent photographer. Good morning. He is a model. He's a musician. He is an entertainer. He's an entertainer. I mean, I'm at loss of words to actually completely describe what all things that he can do for you. Okay, probably I've requested to do some of the things that you may not be prepared. Okay, he will do something. You may not be prepared on a photography workshop. He's going to do something which will totally entertain you. Okay, so he's also a beautiful teacher. I'm sure you're going to really enjoy. He's got a wonderful sense of humor. Okay, I think this is sadly lacking nowadays in our youngsters. So it has to be picked up. And then we have another eminent person here, Arvind Alki. He's basically an astronaut. But again, he's a painter, he's an artist, and he's a very creative person. So I think with those, I think people in photography will appreciate that you can be a better you can be a better photographer if you're an artist. You're already an artist, and also a wonderful human being. Yes. So I would like you, ladies and gentlemen, to put your hands together for Besi and Arvind. We have also another speaker today. She's on our day. She's Radhika. Mass communication partnership. She's on our day. And she was not from basics of photography. So I'm not taking much of your time. I hand over the proceedings to Besi sir. Welcome. Stage is all yours.
I'm on a stage. The world is a stage also, isn't it? And we all are actors. Isn't it? Yes. Now, where should I begin? I'll begin something like, can I have one? I want to write.
Sure.
How many of you know the names, the manufacturers of the camera? Right? You know? Which camera? Oh wow, you are my friend now, not this camera. Oh. Canon, right? Any other camera? Huh? Nikon. Oh yeah. Next. Huh?
Pentax.
Pentax. Oh, very old camera. Then? Wow. Rika. Sony.
Yeah.
No daughter, no? Fuji.
Fuji.
Fuji. Okay. Sorry, I'm little deaf. Next. Good. Any other?
Kashika.
What else? Panasonic, maybe because nowadays they have Panasonic, no doubt about it. Panasonic music systems. Then, yeah, Alpha Click. And of course, there was Kodak also, then Kodak came out. Alright? Correct? Then, anything else you can? I want it from you people, no doubt. Oh! That's Panasonic, correct? Right? So, I'll put it in bracket. Alright. Very good. Young man. Next. खाली हो गया. I mean, you have emptied your pocket. Huh?
Like that.
This Leica, you may be knowing because of something like Rolls Royce in the 35mm camera, you know, especially the M series. Nowadays it's all digital and all that. So then, can anybody think of it? Alright, then I'll do it. It's a little boring for you, but anyway. Hasselblad. You heard of it, you know? This one is also a Rolls Royce in a medium format camera. And you have this was known in the professional terms as a low price Hasselblad. You know, poor man's Hasselblad was providing. Okay, out of all this thing and everything, now tell me which is the world's best camera from here. World's best. Huh?
The camera we had.
She said the camera only with one view her. She's intelligent. She's very intelligent. Yeah. Other people will come and saying, oh, it has a got the Leica, this, that, and so the one which you already have. Can I write here also, no? That's great. Because the one which you have, you can take a picture. Not only that, you can speak as to what you have seen. Not only you can speak about what you have seen, but at the same time you will carry the message to people who have not seen, right? And that's photography, means of communication. What else would you like to know? Tell me. Any questions? Come on, enough. I'm not going to eat you up. What else you would like to know? 1, 2, 3. We're talking about aperture. Yes, an aperture is the opening and closing of the camera. Then you have those apertures, and they mark it by 16, 32, and then less than that. The more you open, the more you have it. And the aperture, in the aperture, what you can do is you can have a selective focus. The more wider the aperture, the less depth of field. But then at the same time, when there's a less depth of field, don't be under the impression even the distance counts. When you are little away and still you have opened the aperture, the depth of field increases from one point to the other. If you go a little closer, then your depth of field, it's marked. So you will have a selective focus. And in that selective focus, it's best to use a selective focus. Why? Because you are concentrating on the subject you want to show. Otherwise, there is a clutter. And there is a clutter. So people will not know what you want to show. Suppose if I am going to shoot even a model, a gent, a handsome man, or pretty girl. But at the same time, if I'm shooting on a very big aperture like 16 and all that, then all those clutter which is behind will also be in sharp focus. You see, and that is distracting. So when one sees the picture, he or she may not know as to what are you trying to show. Is the person, or the flower behind, or the garden behind, or the building behind. So people use the selective focus. Right? ISO. First it was ASA, right? American Standard Association. Then they became ISO, is equal to International Standard Organization. And there was, at the same time, they had written DIN, D-I-N, Deutsche Industry Norm. It's all one and the same, like ISO or ASA. That's the speed of the film. Like when we say ISO 64, when you say ISO 64, the film base is capable of having that much of light in order to get a very good image on that way. So higher the ISO, people they take like suppose that's a 64 ASA film, AS or ISO film, will give you beautiful image like no grains, and nowadays we call in digital known as what's that? Noise. So once a friend of mine has said, "Oh, will you get noise?" I say, "Yes, my camera makes noise." Yeah, I said, "Camera makes noise." Anyway, but nowadays, what happens is, now first I'm talking about our film, negative films, right? That 64 ASA is just beautiful so that you will have no grains when you are enlarging the image, right? Then we take it like 400 ASA, that was a beautiful film, 400 ASA by Kodak, and it was known as Track X film. You must have heard, no? Or not Tracks. Have you heard? No one? Oh, then also everybody is on digital. Anyway, so it's a knowledge for you. I am happy that I'm telling you something which you have gained something, you know. Right. Now that 400 ASA, a Trax film, was a beautiful film used by eminent photographers of, especially we would say American photographers, you know, press photographers, what you call fashion photographers, and journalists, whatnot. It was black and white. At the same time, over here, in the place where I come from, Mumbai, you know, and I was associated with all those photographers. I thought, oh, Mr. Duvash, you use this 400 ASA, it will give you grains. Grains is equal to that noise, you know, it will give you grains. So you must use 64 ASA film or you must use 100 ASA film. I say, yes, that's true. But in this black and white, this 400 ASA is my favorite film. Now, they are also right in the sense that 400 will give you grains after, suppose if you just blow up, say 3 feet by 2 feet. But mine did not give. What was the secret? The secret was that it should be processed properly. So what I used to do, that 400 ASF film, I used to put on 200 ISO. I used to put 200 ISO. And I used to develop it myself. You see? Develop it with a special developer made by Kodak, which was known as HC110. Not the D76 and all that powdered one, which you make a developer and they make it. So I used to do that. And those pictures from 35 mm format, it used to go on the billboard. No noise. No noise. So, processing is also very, very important. Now, I'm not very sure about this digital, I don't know, because digital has just come. I'm not a technical man. But at the same time, this digital also, when you are a cameras, you shoot on ISO 100, 64, if whatever it is available on it, at least 200. There is no noise. Am I right? There is no noise. But if you go on 800 ISO and then you shoot, you immediately see the noise. Not only you see the noise in the camera itself on your whatever you call that LCD or screen or whatever it is, you see that. But now we have cameras, of course it has been upgraded and things like that. Even in 3,200 if you shoot or 6,000, I think 6,200, 6,400, like Nikon, like Nikon D3S. No noise. Okay, fine. The technology. No noise, technology. Okay? Because you are going to a very high, what you call ISO. And it is something 1,20,000 or something like that also is there. And no noise. But now we people do not have those type of cameras, right? To take it in the available lights, just available or not a very good light, but you have to, if there is a little ray of light and you can take a photograph. You can never and never take a photograph when it is very dark. If there is no light, then we go. Good morning, lady. Why you are late?
That was terrible.
I was trying to impress you and I had to impress all these people. What is this?
I was also there. You weren't aware that I was also there.
No, I was not. Okay? Anyway, nice meeting you. That's Radhika, is one of your main person over here now. I'm the sidebar.
That will discover by getting the name. Sideline.
Anyway, so where was I? Sorry, I went to the about the technology of the cameras and all. So remember one thing. Suppose if you have not that hi-fi camera and you shoot because you want to shoot with why you are putting it on higher ISO? You are putting it on a higher ISO. Why? Because you don't have a tripod. And in circumstances, you see what you do is handle. And always remember that in handle, there is always a shape. Always a shape. And suppose if you would like to be little professionally inclined, even though there are beautiful light, there's absolutely a beautiful light, a tripod is necessary. Even though you'll say, alright, I'm going to hold my camera and shoot handle. 2000 shutter speed is 2000. No shape. And of course you are perfect. But I wouldn't advise you because somebody else is paying you and is paying you a bomb. Like professionals over there in Bombay whom I know, I do not know about here or anywhere, very good professionals. They are being paid for one file. Nowadays we say one file. Formerly we used to say one photograph or one print or whatever you call it, Just people are charging 1 lakh of rupees. 1 lakh for one file, only one. Got it? Whether it is a corporate photograph of a managing director or a chairman of a company or any products, they are commanding that much. So when you are commanding that much, then it is absolutely necessary that your camera should be on a tripod. No shape. Right. Another thing you have to remember is just because you have kept your camera on a tripod, your camera weighs say something like 5 kg. Okay? With your lens and this and 5 kg, 10 kg. But you have a tripod weighing, just the tripod weighing, say 50 kg. You have kept the camera and like I used to shoot on Hasselblad, which we call it. It is known as a rat trap. Do you know what is a rat trap? Rat trap? Ta-ta. When the rat comes in and then ta. And the people who used to sell those rat traps, they used to make noise. So my Hasselblad was also known as a rat trap. Right. So my Hasselblad is not only 10 kg also or 5 kg and all that. And I have a 9-8 tripod which is 50 kg and nicely secured. And I take a product. The product is also there. And it's just what you call, it doesn't shake. The bottle, does it shake? No. Correct? Will it shake? Or you will shake. You may blink. You may take a breathing and all that. Alright? Then we process our film and then we blow up to the sky. Blow up to the sky. Alright? Oh God, why it is not sharp? I kept it on my stand. I kept it on the stand as a tripod. I was so careful. And not only that, I used studio flashes. Because when you use flash, it freezes. Still, I'm not very happy. Why? Because it is not, what you call, not sharp. Small pictures, 5x7 or 8x10. Oh, what beautiful picture. As soon as you blow it up and you see, oh my goodness, something. Now tell me as to why. What has happened? Does anyone know about it? You? Because you are a very intelligent lady. What's your name?
Aishwarya.
Oh God. She's the beauty queen, huh? What the hell you are saying? You're a beauty queen. The beauty lies in the eye of a beholder. So you're a beauty queen. Anything? No idea? No idea? Huh? You're professional. No? Nobody? Give up? Sir? Why it should? I kept it on a tripod. The camera didn't. Oh, move. Huh? No. Focus and all that is good. Everything is alright. Yeah. He mentioned it. If you are out of focus, naturally. Yes, good. See, you are helping me. You are getting photographed. Right? Focus is also very good. We point on it, see it. Oh God, that's right. And then click. Out of focus. Alright. You give up? I tell you. The shutter goes up and down. Thud. Huh? No matter your camera is on a tripod or whatever it is, that shutter, which is known as sympathetic vibration of the camera. What is it known as? I can't hear you. All everybody.
Sympathetic vibration of the camera.
It's in your head? Huh? So whether you are using a Hasselblad, the Hasselblad was a little guy, rat trap, no doubt about it. Huh? But your even 35 mm cameras and all that. So what is the precaution you have to take in using it, because somebody is paying you and you want to give a nice crispy picture. Crispy, like if you crack the picture, it should, like a biscuit, it should like that. Alright? So, any suggestion? Come on, now tell me. What will you do in order to have a nice, good, crispy picture? Tell me. Just think. I'm just giving you 2 minutes. Okay? Clack. 2 minutes. What is there? Any ideas? Just think. Say anything. Whatever you want to say. It may be this, it may be that. I may learn also something. Basically, when you are open to anything, not just photography, anything. If you have an open mind, you will learn a lot. A lot in the sense that, as I can say, philosophically, you can learn from a fool. You can learn from a wise man. And you can even learn from a madman, a crazy chap. Wisely. So you will also think. Never and ever discard. Suppose if you have a friend and he is mad, so don't say that he is mad. Try to improve him or get his knowledge as to why is he doing that. And when you do that, you become wiser. I'm going to philosophy and not sticking to photography now. Isn't it? Yes, doctor?
High shutter speed.
High shutter speed. Oh, the high shutter speed is higher. When you have a low shutter speed, say 1/15th of a second, you are taking that. Now 1 second. And high shutter speed, as you said, good. Okay? All this noise. No idea? Sure? Oh, sad. Nowadays, on all the cameras. Now again, what? Somebody said something. Huh? Okay, that is all technology. I'm not talking about the technology. Okay, that image stabilizer, yes, I must talk about it. Now, if you are shooting at 500 and under, will you put that VR on? Don't do that. VR should be on, not on 500 and above. Okay? if you have a very what you call low shutter speed, then put your VR on, it will be great. Otherwise, you will get an unsharp picture. Try that. Try that. Put it, go out, open your aperture, see that the what you call your shutter speed is above 500 or 500, and shoot a moving subject, right? So VR says that oh, the image stabilizer, and it doesn't stabilize very nicely. It doesn't have any blur, okay? And you will have blur, and you will be thinking for yourself by saying, oh, what the hell? This is VR. My lens is no good. No, but you must know how when to use the lens and when to use those what you call image stabilizer or the function. You don't know when to use it and how to use it. That's one. Because I experienced it. Somebody gave me a VR. I was not doing anything, and I went to shooting the horses, and connected with the horses. Blur. Some image good, some image blur. Why? Because my speed was above 500. And it was blur. Then again, I read, now you people have very access to what you call that internet and all that. You see, open that and they will give you a very good what you call information as to when and where to use your VR. Now, let us Rabano Ano Muto. And let us come back to the subject which I was talking about. Now, in almost good cameras, right, there is known as mirror up, locking the mirror. It is known as you lock the mirror. So, you must lock the mirror every now and then when you want to shoot. Why? Because when you lock the mirror, first there are controls, what you call, I lost a word. Anyway, to lock the mirror, that's one thing. One, you can immediately lock the mirror before you shoot. You can immediately lock the mirror before you shoot. Because once you lock the mirror, you can't see from your viewfinder. Because the mirror is up. Huh? So, then you can press and release your shutter. So what happens? Say 1 second, so you get the picture has been taken and then the mirror falls, giving a shade. But the picture has already been taken. So your picture is very crispy. Got it? Everybody understood? If they have not understood, I'll repeat. Come on. Have you understood?
I understand this.
Huh?
I understand this.
Now
I need to
you
know
speak
how to-
little
Sorry.
loudly.
I understand the concept. I need to know how to do it on my camera.
Oh, that's now these are also they are not very technically with all the cameras and things like that. And even with suppose I'm a user of Nikon, that Nikon things which I had used, like in my time it was Nikon FM, FM2 and all that. Now they did not have mirror lockup. But even then, when I was using that, I used to have a mirror lockup. How? That's great. Thank you. Thank you. Then I'm just going back to my old history, you must say. So what I was doing, tell me, there's no mirror lockup, but in the modern cameras there are mirror lockup. You have a button, you have track, gone, and if you take a picture, oh wow, good, right? But in those you must have heard about Nikon FE, FM2 and all that. So you know what I used to do? Very easy. Suppose if you do not have it, and you want to lock the mirror, and you want to have the image very crispy, what do? Come on. Put it on a timer, your 10-second timer. 10 second, 5 second, whatever it is. As soon as you press the shutter, clack, the mirror goes up, photograph is not being taken, and when the time is over, say 10 seconds, That's the shutter. And thump goes the mirror down. Mirror lockup. This was also done by a very famous photographer, a very nice man. Even though his name was Adrian Stevens. He was an Irishman married to a Parsi lady who was a professor of English in our Elphinstone College, which is known as the very best college. He was a great photographer. He was taken aback by me because he was also using it as a PC. I can't do it. I said, well, you put it this way, I can do it. And you must have even heard of Gautam Rajagakshya. He was a studio manager in Linters. But at the same time, then, you see, he became a photographer because then he was a studio in charge and all that. And he became a photographer and he was photographing all those eminent people, like all those actors and whatnot, high profile people. Especially, most of them they were all just Bollywood actors, you see. He was also quite taken aback by saying, oh, yeah, we have to do this. This was nice. So, in order to get your nice, good pictures, one is, of course, like you said, high shutter speed with very steady hand. But if somebody is paying you through their noses, you have to be very, very careful. Always on a tripod. Always on a tripod. So, you now know about sympathetic vibrations of your camera. Nowadays, as somebody mentioned, Lumix, who? Does he have a mirror? Huh? Yes? Are you sure? Not very sure. Okay, you're very honest then. Nowadays, we have these digital cameras without mirror. Mirrorless. And if it is mirrorless, yes, you get a good picture. Why? Because there is no vibration. Like this, there is no vibration. Good. Huh? It's mirrorless. I think if you read this, what you call, I don't know which one, but Lumix as without a mirror. They are known as mirrorless cameras, and of course, they are in compact forms, compact cameras. So you are Lumix?
Yes.
Just check if you are. Check means if you have a, what do you call it? The brochure or whatever.
Manual book.
Oh, then you better read it. Huh? Right, sir? I think I'm a little over. Any questions? What is? SLR. Now, what are you talking about? SLR. I'll tell you what is SLR. It's a self-loading rifle. What are you laughing? He said, oh, what is SLR? I'm telling you, self-loading rifle. Who said that? Hey, he's trying to pull my leg. Because he's a friend and I invited him for his workshop. So, he would like to. How many people know Hindi? Hands up. Because it's better to say that. उसको 200 रुपया वसूल करने को बनता है कि इसके लिए मेरे को No, good. So SLR, when you say be specific, what is SLR when the photographic language is concerned?
No, you just ask them what is SLR, because once when I went to my brother's college, they do all photography, commercial, all that. So ask them what is SLR, what does it stand for?
What does it stand for?
They could not tell me. That's why I want to know if anybody can answer.
Well,
What is SLR?
okay, and photographic language, what is it? I'm a hunter and all that, I was reborn and all that. I was reborn first. I was Jeanne d'Arc, reincarnation now. You must be knowing Jeanne d'Arc, no? So I was always in the war and all that, and it's modern warfare. When somebody said SLR, I think about self-loading rifles. Alright, what is SLR? In a photograph.
Single lens.
Everybody knows it. Oh, what is it? You do not know, yeah? Single lens reflex. Okay?
How is it different from other cameras? What is the actual function of it?
Oh my goodness, that's very technical. Single lens reflex. Now, single lens reflex is equal to reflex is equal to, I think, reflection. I don't take it as a gospel truth, but this is what I understand. There's the lens, and you see through the lens. Whereas our Leica and all that, it was known as what?
Rangefinder.
Rangefinder. Correct, absolutely right. See, the rangefinder. So, what lens sees, you do not see. You know, so that is single lens reflex. That's all I know. Okay.
How is the smaller cameras that we have, the point and shoot ones, do they use a different technology and how does
Maybe
it
not that. Let me be very honest. Compact cameras, I don't know. And not only that, it's a very good question. Next time I'll try to see as to what it is, and when next trip to Pondicherry, I'll be well versed with that. Because basically, let me be very honest, I'm not a technical person. I'm a very practical man. There are lots of things in photography or in other things are also concerned. I'm not that good, but the thing is, what I've done practically, I can show it to you. And what I've learned from people like you all, you know, that is the only thing. Because while reading, you see, I go to sleep. I go on reading. One page is not still over, I go to sleep. You know, but if it is practical information, then I'm very good at it, and it goes straight into my brain matter, and it absorbs. Right, lady? Well, I'm very open to questions if I can answer. See, like this one, what's the technology of the compact cameras? And there will be also rangefinders. One is, of course, it's a rangefinder. Suppose if it is a what is called a viewfinder. When it is a viewfinder, it may be a rangefinder because the lens and wind. And other one,
Sorry if I
one before I forget.
in your SLR cameras, if you have a lens cap, okay, and you look through this, you cannot see that. You cannot see it. But in the rangefinder, it's also got a twin lens scaler,
Yeah, correct.
twin lens reflex. So even if you have your cap on, you can still see, and you can shoot a picture. Nothing will come, you get blank. But you got it. So that's the difference between.
Yeah, hey, you people have the old master's camera, Rolleiflex. Nobody said about Rolleiflex. When he said twin reflex camera, the Rolleiflex, and then came even Yashica. Yashica, some 625 doctor. Yeah, Yashica is a Rolleiflex camera, you know, twin lens. Yeah. You see, then Mamiya was also had a very good camera, known as CC hardware, whatever it was. Yes, young lady, any questions?
Sir, I would like to know the relationship between shutter speed, ISO, and the aperture. Okay, what settings we have to use for different.
Oh, that's easy. Even
Actually, we don't know.
right, I don't feel fine, doesn't matter. Say your very good aim, what we call it, is 2.8. You open your 2.8, alright? When you open your 2.8 and the shutter speed increases. Why? Because you are letting the flow of the light much more than the shutter speed increases. So you are getting steadier in something like this ambient conditions, like it's not enough light. Then at the same time, suppose if you have kept it on 100 ISO and you have kept it at 2.8, if you have a practical demonstration, you can have a practical demonstration with your camera. You will see that, oh, it is showing only 1/15th of a second, right? Then you put your ISO on 200. It has come to 1/38 of a second. If you put a 400, it will come to more. And as soon as you come to more, You have to be a little careful because you are going to shoot in a very low light condition. But you want a picture and a good picture. It's not that it should be that sharp, but a good picture. One can recognize that this is a PC to watch. Oh, okay, fine. Whether it is blur or not, it's okay, fine. But the thing is, so you increase your ISO. Simple. Right? But at the same time, now, you want to say, okay, the gentleman over there, what's your name, sir? Kanodi. And what's yours?
Shankar.
Shankar. Shankar Bhamani.